We'll see you then. And so it all comes down to this final race of the season in the Blancpain GT World Challenge Europe. It's race 2 here at the Hungaroring. The grid is formed. The championship situations are very finely poised. Overall, Silver Cup and Pro-Am all on the line. There's going to be a lot to look for during the course of the next hour of racing. Andrea Caldarelli has the championship lead along with Marco Mappelli by just 2 points. Let's hear the thoughts of Andrea. He's on the grid with John Watson.
Andrea, row 7 not ideal to try and defend that 2-point advantage you have over Black Falcon.
Yeah, should be somewhere around there, but we can see them, so that's very important. We will try to do our race, honestly. I don't want to think about the championship. It's a very tricky condition to start from, but I think we have a good car for the race, and we will go full attack for it. We need a podium, realistically, more or less. That's what we need. It's hard, but we are tougher. So.
Andrea Caldarelli making the point that he's way back on the grid, but only because a good lap time in qualifying was lost for track limit abuse. So it means that the championship leading 563 Lamborghini will start 13th on the grid. Now, we've heard from the Lamborghini team. What about Black Falcon? Let's rejoin Watty.
First of all, Maro, great overtake on that last lap yesterday.
Yeah, had to somehow do it, and happy that I managed to pull it off before the end of the race, because I think it was important for us.
You're 2 points behind the FFF Racing Lamborghini, but they're back in the 7th row of the grid. Makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah. Up alongside the grass, the Lamborghini gets a face full of the Acker Mercedes of Vincent Abril. Into the lead goes Engelhardt, but he goes wide. Muller is on his tail. It's going to be Abril who comes out ahead. Out wide goes Engelhardt, who is going to be second as they plunge downhill. Who's going to lead as they plunge downhill, because they're still side by side. Engelhardt on the inside line has to give way round the outside. Vincent Abril leads the pack. Keeping out of trouble in the body of the field is Caldarelli. And where is Engel in all of this as they drop downhill for the first time? Third, I fancy, is the blue Mercedes as they run up to turn 4.
Very busy start, but pretty much a clean start. Everybody got through turn 1 without contact. But look, as they're filing through turn 4, it is single file. You have to be careful. If you get on the outside, as you saw the Mercedes do there, you will run off the racetrack. It gets back into, slots back in. But where is Andrea Caldarelli? The 563. He had the sister cars directly ahead of him up there. Are they going to help in his quest?
Well, that was Fred Verbeek being lent on by Andrea Bertolini. Marvin Kirchhofer in the Aston goes through, and Sven Muller gets himself ahead of Dries Van Toren. There's drama as off goes David Perel. He's got a puncture, he's got a tyre off the rim, so that is in Pro-Am, and that's going to give the championship to Phil Keane and Hiroshi Hamaguchi. Can the car recover, or are we going to have to need a safety car?
Might be a safety car, just depends whether the race director believes that's in a dangerous place. Andrea Caldarelli looking to try and slip down the inside into turn 12 on the Mercedes. Doesn't quite get it done, but the intent is clipped directly behind Van Voor. Thinks he's going to get a run, but it's a Black Falcon Mercedes. The number 4 Maro Engel, who really did get the best jump of everybody, picks up whatever slipstream it's worth behind the Lamborghini, squeezes Van Voor to the right of the racetrack coming down. Got the Mercedes. Van Voor's got to back out of it because he's going to run onto the grass. And then it's Christian Engelhardt, but just fractionally overruns, allows Vincent Abril to get back. But look how wide off the outside of the track Engelhardt had to go.
And so Vincent Abril will control the pace from here on. He slows it down, he bunches up everybody behind him, and once he accelerates, he's got to keep accelerating. You can't go slow.
He's gone.
He sprints very early.
I think so indeed. So he's maybe caught Christian Engelhardt, I should say, slightly unawares. Normally I would have thought he would have think about going here on the exit of turn 13, but no, he went on the exit of 12 and has opened up a 3-car advantage, 2-car advantage maybe, as the rest of the field has got to wait until they go across start-finish line before they can make a move. As the number 2 Audi is thinking about Christopher Mies, is thinking about lining up Felipe Fraga. You can see the Mercedes and the Audi on the left of your screen. Mies gets up alongside. Is he going to be able to outbrake the Mercedes? Fraga is no walk in the park when it comes to giving up position.
And Christopher Haase is right there in the blue and white Santilok Audi, trying to get past Mies to the inside of the Mercedes as they drop down the hill there. They're side by side. Christopher Mies goes ahead, but he's on the longer, slower outside line, so Fraga fights back as they drop downhill. There is Caldarelli. He's still on the tail of Jim Pla. In other words, he's not got ahead of Jim Pla as yet, so he's still trapped in 11th place as they blast out of turn 3 now. That's Calderelli's view. There is the leader, Vincent Abril, in his first year of racing the Mercedes, ahead of Christian Engelhardt. And as yet, Engel has not been able to find his way by.
He's way off the racetrack. I mean, lost sight of him. I thought he was going to put a past. He was that far off track. Dries van Voor is getting fed up with the side of that rather attractive showroom colour. Oh, Dries van Voor ran too wide. And again, Felipe Fraga is going to think about, well, opportunity going up at turn 4 for me in the Mercedes. Can I get the run up the hill?
And Vantor's got some damage. Look, the smoke coming from the car. Round the outside goes Fraga. Bodywork against tyre. Vantor way off the road. This is another race unravelling for the Belgian driver. Look, they're streaming past him now.
Yeah, that all happened coming through turn 3 and turn 4. Was there contact with the Mercedes? Is that what's cut a tyre down? Certainly it looked like tyre rubbing against bodywork. And it may well be that left rear has been cut down.
Or was it him running wide that's damaged the tyre because he was on the wrong line? Anyway, we'll get a replay.
Well, if you drop over the sharp edge of a curve, that likewise can cut the inner shoulder. So whatever it was, it's had certainly the detrimental effect. So Dries van Voor's run is effectively all over. So a huge disappointment for Dries van Voor, big disappointment for WRT.
Now, with that problem for Van Voor into the top 10, of course, will go Calderelli.
This is a review of what happened to Dries van Voor. Was it contact with the Porsche? Oh, the back end steps out.
There he is.
And now dropping that right rear wheel. Now there was problems there, you can see already. So it was the right rear that was the issue. So could well have been, as you pointed out, that dropping the wheel off the racetrack, those sharp edges to the side of the racetrack. All you need.
And so where is number 1? It has made a pit stop. So Dries van Voor is now down in 25th place out of the hunt.
We haven't seen it, but Andrea Calderelli has got ahead of Jimmy Blau. Calderelli is now, according to the timing and scoring, up into 9th position.
So that would give them 86 points. The Black Falcon Mercedes third, 92.5. Championship advantage Mercedes for the moment. Of course, as far as Andrea Calderelli is concerned, they could gain places on the pit stops. Don't forget the overall situation. Your pit stop time is as quick or as slow as you do it. It doesn't have to be to a delta time.
Down the inside, can he get a pass? Nico Bastian. Bastian gives him enough room. Will he give him the exit of the corner? Yes, he has. Whoa! Well, just to remind you that maybe I'm not going to be that kind to you, but I think it's... Well, no, he's not. Nico Bastian still deciding now contact that was unnecessary and that should not have occurred. There was no point in doing that because these two cars in a different race. The concern is, was that going to be a damage to the left rear tyre of the 563 Lamborghini with that little bit of contact?
563 also being warned about track limits. So a place gain for Calderelli. Now he's 11.5 seconds off the race leader. But look at how close things are ahead. And look also at the record of how good the FFF racing team is in the pit stop. That car could gain some of the places when it stops. So might be get Calderelli in early while the field are tightly bumped the stop, see if they can jump on the pit stops. You can see how the championship looks at the moment with the Mercedes crew set to win. If the Black Falcon Mercedes stays in its third position, this car needs to be 4th to win the championship because that would give them an equal number of points. And on the tie-break, with the majority, with the greater number of wins, 2-1, so the Lamborghini team would win the championship. So 4th is the magic number. Real question is, who is going to pick this time? Not the leader, so Vincent stays out for one more lap. Do we see the blue Mercedes peel to the pit lane? The answer is no, but the Lamborghini is in of Engelhardt. So one more lap for Engel. Now, where is Calderelli? Does the Lamborghini come in? Yes, it does. Calderelli is in for Mapelli to take over.
Both Lamborghinis, different teams, identical cars, opting for the early pit stop. It will be a battle of these two teams in the pit lane to see who can execute that path. Calderelli has done the best he can. He got that car up into 8th place, having started back on the 7th row of the grid. So Calderelli out, Mapelli in.
And we know that they make good pit stops. That is the Grasser Lamborghini going.
They had to wait. They were held back momentarily because of traffic coming in. So there is the rear wheel about to go on to the back of Mapelli. So they move, get that car running. So no, wow, Malcolm Mapelli 0 to 60 kilometers in the space of like 6 meters. Really quick.
Okay, so down the pit lane he goes. Let's see what that pit stop time is. 47.5 seconds. They've gained 2.4 seconds. 2.4 seconds gained on the Grasser Lamborghini on the pit stops alone. Race leader is in, but Engel is staying out. So that's going to put the car into the lead of the race. Also in is Haase to give way to Simon Gachet, Mies to give way to Charles Weert. But a 47.5 second pit stop is now not quite the quickest, actually, because Vervish to Finlay Hutchison 47.2. But 47.5 is what we've got to compare the other leading cars' pit stops against, because that 2.4 seconds gained over the Grasser Lamborghini, absolutely crucial.
Here is the car that was leading the race, just about exiting the pit lane as the first of the two Lambos. The gap between first and second really looks as if it's stretched marginally.
Yeah, because that pit stop, well, actually, Marciello, the stop was a 50.2. It's actually slower than the Grasser pit stop. Now there is Mappelli, who gets ahead of the Audi, so he's done it just on the pit stops. He's gained 2 more places, goes ahead of Simon Gachet, goes ahead of Charles Weert as well. But significantly, now that Engel has a clear road ahead of him, he's doing personal best laps. So the Mercedes is lapping quicker than it was when it was stuck behind Engelhardt. And that's going to be significant as well. Played out over the stop, but here it comes now. So this is Maro Engel to give way to Lukas Stolz. The team is ready. We'll keep an eye to the pit stop time relative to the FFF racing team stop. Sven Muller will lead the race now from Felipe Fraga, and down the pit lane for the most important pit stop of the season comes Maro Engel.
Cross your fingers, cross your legs. This is the most tense part of this race, because this is going to make or break effectively who will walk out of here. Will it be Black Vulcan, the champion, or will it be this car, the FFF Racing, as it comes through turn 11, so it's still a third of a lap away. And this is going to be a good pit stop from Black Vulcan. They're going to get back out, maybe in second place.
But bear in mind, there was that unsafe release they got done for at the Nürburgring, so it's not done until the car is away cleanly. It's clean now. Blasted down the pit lane. 47.5 seconds was the stop for FFF, and that pit stop time is 49.7. So they have lost 2 seconds against 5.63. They're still look behind number 63 Grasser as they rejoin the circuit.
Safe but steady, that's what you could say about that pit stop.
So now you've got Stolz third, Mappelli fourth. That's going to give the Lamborghini the championship, because they will win on a tie-break. So now Stolz, come what may, has got to get himself up past Mirko Bortolotti. Bear in mind that there is still this appeal to be heard from Zandvoort. If it goes against Grasser, it would move Black Falcon up a place, it would move the FFF Racing Team Lamborghini up a place. It would give 2 points to the Mercedes. It would give 1.5 points to the Lamborghini. So although we're talking about what we're seeing on track now and a tie-break on points, if that appeal goes against Grasser this week, the championship would go to Black Falcon by 0.5 point.
Well, Maro Engel said, it doesn't matter if we win by 0.5 point. And I thought, well, trying to think quickly on the hoop, what's he talking about? Obviously, that was in the back of his mind, that appeal is still yet to be heard. One wonders why it couldn't have been heard, arguably, before we got underway this weekend, but that's another story. Race leader, Raffaele Marciello, over 11 seconds now, and really it's a cruise in the sun here. The sun is finally coming out at the Hungaroring. It's been a bit of a wet and dull weekend so far, but this is the conclusion to a great championship on an ideal afternoon. There you can see tension in the Black Vulcan pits. So they wonder, is this going to be a high-risk opportunity? But look how close Stolz has managed to close down in the space of 1 lap. Wow, he's going to be thinking about a pass as they come out of the final turn onto pit straight into turn 1.
Got to start here, got to fire the gun now, but the Lamborghini, which is good on aero, is against the grunt and go Mercedes. Over the timing line they go. He's down to 0.389 of a second. Is Stolz near enough to dive up the inside at turn 1? He's not. The gap is certainly down, but Bortolotti still has the advantage. So Stolz now is in touch, and that's really, I suppose, the first proper push that he's had.
Yes, that's the first opportunity Stolz has really looked like putting a pass on the 63 Lamborghini, and that's dragging along Mappelli in 4th place. He's now sitting watching, because this will be ultimately the make or break of the 563's championship hopes. If the 4 Mercedes gets ahead of the 63 Lamborghini, championship victor in the blue Mercedes, I have to think.
Absolutely right. So pressure is on Bortolotti, rival Lamborghini team, but for the brand, is he going to defend? He's not, of course, driving for the same team as Caldarelli and Mapelli, but he does want to look after Lamborghini's interest. As long as Stoltz is defending, he's going to drop back from Bortolotti. The gap is up again, looks at 7/10 of a second, and then it's 6/10. Stoltz to champion-elect Marco Mapelli, down through turn 1. 8 minutes to go, and right now, just sitting there, banking the points, winning on a tie-break. The FFF Racing Team Lamborghini looking good. But does Mapelli attack you? He's going to have a go. If he can get ahead, of course, then that's absolutely game over. What he doesn't want to do is get himself in a battle where there's any contact and risk not scoring, risk losing places. Down to turn 3 they come.
If there was contact, potentially the bigger loser would be the number 4, because that's the car that currently is 2 points behind. So it's not in anybody's interest in these two cars to get together.
Absolutely, as they come up through turn 3, the climb to 4, the scene of where we have Nigel Mansell seize the lead of a Grand Prix in the early days of a Hungarian Grand Prix. And now to turn 5 there, Lamborghini, Mercedes, Lamborghini 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Through they turn, Mercedes leading the way, but the ACA ASP car dominant here, 14 seconds to the good. Gap down a little bit coming into the chicane. Stoltz pushing again now.
You can see the tension on the face of Caldarelli.
3 more minutes, 2 more laps we still have, but if he can't do it yet, I fear he's not going to do it. Stoltz over the timing line. Bortolotti is ahead by 7/10. It's gone up.
Yeah, it's unless something is to an unknown factor. Let's say it starts to rain, which it isn't going to do. It needs something of a biblical proportion to make any potential difference to these 3 cars with just under 3 minutes of this race remaining. This is the final lap. Mapelli looks, he's thinking, well, if I do have an opportunity, do I want to force it? Or because Stoltz looks like he hasn't got anything left in the tank to challenge Bortolotti for that 2nd place, am I going to just be conservative? Maybe I shouldn't have used that phrase, but anyway, think about what I want to do rather than maybe overreact.
4th will do it, and they're counting down the corners here because as they come into turn 11, Luca Stoltz is going to be 3rd in the race. That will give him 92.5 points. Marco Mapelli is going to be 4th. That will give him 92.5 points. A tie-break for the title. A double win this weekend for ASP for Raffaele Marcello and Vincent Abril to win the final race in Blancpain GT World Challenge Europe here at the Hungaroring. But for the championship, it is going to be decided on a tie-break. The Porsche has stopped in the background. 3rd in the race for Luca Stoltz and Maro Engel is not enough because with 2 wins to the 1 of the Mercedes, the championship goes to Andrea Caldarelli and Marco Mapelli as the Lamborghini comes across the line, and the delight is plain to see. Emotions erupt. All of that tension is gone, and Maro Engel, almost with his head in his hands, has seen the car come so close to the title and denied by a tie-break.
Well, you can just see in the Lamborghini pit the emotion. It'll be tears. It is tears. I mean, coming from the 7th row of the grid to finish 4th, mighty fine effort by both drivers. But I mean, you have to think about all the guys in Black Vulcan who did a superb job yesterday in the rain to finish 2nd, and then to have to start, and then, well, by what? On a count back on number of victories.
Well, let's hear from new champion Andrea Caldarelli. He's with Nicky Shields.
Andrea, obviously emotions are running high right now. Huge, huge congratulations. You know, the start of today, things were not looking good. You were starting down in P13, but you guys, yeah, enjoy these celebrations. It's a moment to be treasured. But yeah, everything was really against you today, wasn't it? But it was a superb start, superb pit stop, and a fantastic 2nd half of the race. Tell us how you're feeling.
Well, you can see from my face, that's been the most long 30 minutes ever. We know that it was very difficult, like starting P13. I was really, all my stint, I was like this. I tried to like push everyone, everything, what I could do. And this win goes to the guys. It's all this crew has been amazing all year. So that's all to them.
I mean, how does it feel, obviously, being the inaugural champions of the Blancpain GT World Challenge Europe? I mean, that makes it even more special, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It makes I still cannot believe it, thinking about how we start the season with 3 cars, with so many people, and it was really tough at the beginning, but then, you know, working hard, like so, they work so hard, and I think they really deserve all of them.
And also, let's not forget, you're also champions in the Pro-Am competition, so you've really got a double celebration today.
Yeah, Hiroshi did an amazing job. Again, he proved, I think he's the best out there so far that I know, so he deserves everything. Phil did an amazing job all year with him, and you know, it's very nice to finish the championship like this.
Oh, it is indeed. Well, go and enjoy the celebrations. Very well deserved. Thank you very much.
Let's look at the race result. First of all, a win, the second of the weekend for the 88 ACA ASP Team Mercedes of Raffaele Marciello and Vincent Abril, ahead of Marco Bortolotti and Christian Engelhardt. Lucas Stoltz with Mauro Engel third, Marco Mappelli and Andrea Caldarelli fourth. They tie on points. Marco and Andrea, the champions. Timo Bogoslavski and Felipe Fraga fifth to win the Silver Cup in the race, ahead of Simon Gachet and Christopher Hasse. Charles Wirtz and Christopher Mies seventh, from Thomas Neubauer and Nico Bastian, who win the Silver Cup in the championship. Aro Vainio and Hugo de Sadelier up to ninth from the back of the grid, ahead of Calvin van der Linde and Clement Schmidt. Kim Lewis Schramm 11th with Jamie Green, Fred Vervies 12th with Finlay Hutchison. Andrea Caldarelli and Marco Mappelli there, and really been the benchmark Lamborghini squad. And now, indeed, the benchmark GT team, because there are your provisional champions. But let's hear from the race winners, Raffaele Marciello and Vincent Abril with Mickey.
Well, here we are again. It's like deja vu. Congratulations. Second win of the weekend. I mean, what an achievement.
Yeah, that's the perfect weekend. 2 poles, 2 wins, mega car. Really, I can't thank the team enough because, you know, as we touched on before, we had a difficult start of the year, but that's when you recognize all the good effort that we put in, still kept faith and kept going, and now, yeah, we're very happy.
For the top step of the podium is Raffaele Marciello and Vincent Abril, 2 out of 2 here in Budapest. Now, let's see if we can hear from Lucas Stoltz and Mauro Engel. Hugely disappointed. Nicky can charm them for us.
Well, Mauro, Luca, I mean, obviously it's great to be up here on the podium, but I'm sure there's a little bit of disappointment for you guys today. It was a real challenge and you gave it everything.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably the saddest third place we've had. Yeah, we did give it absolutely everything, and it's a shame. The team really deserved it. They worked so hard for this, but that's sport. I mean, to end up on level points is just incredible. I guess we lost it in the last weekend, when we had, I think, everything in our hands, and yeah, made some mistakes as a team in the pits. But yeah, can't go back. Focus forward. We're now leading the overall again, and our aim is to clinch that title.
There you are on the points, 92.5 for Marco Mappelli and Andrea Caldarelli, and Lucas Stoltz and Mauro Engel. 2 wins against the 1. The champions are the Italians. Raffaele Marciello and Vincent Abril move up to third with lots of what-ifs in their minds. Marco Bortolotti and Christian Engelhardt without a race win. Fourth, Christopher Hasse, Simon Gachet fifth. Charles Wirtz was a race winner, as indeed were Christopher and Simon. Charles Wirtz and Dries Van Toor, they are 6th and 7th respectively. Ricky Collard and Marvin Kirchhofer took outright wins, as also did Nico Bastien and Thomas Neubauer. Pro-Am champions Phil Keane and Hiroshi Hamaguchi, Silver Cup champions Thomas Neubauer and Nico Bastien, and the overall champions Andrea Caldarelli and Marco Mappelli. A fantastic end to a fantastic season of racing in the Blancpain GT World Challenge Europe, and there'll be more of the same in 2020.
अमरनाथ यात्रा पर जाने वाले श्रद्धालुओं के लिए कुछ खास जानकारी।
आपको अकेले ट्रैक नहीं करना चाहिए। हमेशा एक समूह में यात्रा करें और सुनिश्चित करें कि समूह में शामिल सभी लोग आपके सामने या पीछे चल रहे हैं। हमेशा आपकी दृष्टि में रहें। ये सुनिश्चित करने के लिए कि आप उनसे अलग ना हों।
किसी भी आपात स्थिति में तत्काल कार्रवाई की जाए। इसके लिए आपको अपने समूह के किसी सदस्य जिसके साथ आप यात्रा कर रहे हैं का नाम, पता और मोबाइल टेलीफोन नंबर का एक नोट अपनी जेब में जरूर रखें। साथ ही अपना यात्रा परमिट या कोई और पहचान पत्र भी अपने साथ रखें।
350 ईसा पूर्व भारत, एक सोने की चिड़िया जो कभी किसी पिंजरे में नहीं आई।
इस चिड़िया का शिकार मैं करूंगा।
जो दुनिया जीत के आया था, उसे खाली हाथ लौटाया था।
ऐसा कोई पिंजरा नहीं बना जो भारत को कैद कर सके।
पोरस, सोमवार से शुक्रवार रात 8:30 बजे सिर्फ डीडी नेशनल पर।
One of the main reasons is that we do not have a grassroots program. Grassroots system ही नहीं है इंडिया में, unfortunately, to focus on that young talent. And that is the most important thing, I think, for any sport. जो भी sport, you want to build in your country, it should start from a very, very young age. And I think the federations, the players, the corporates all need to come together to make it a successful sporting country. And if tennis wants to improve, if you take, for example, cricket is such a great example that they have such a wonderful mix of youngsters playing a lot of tournaments in India. There are plenty of tournaments so that the Indian players can play here. That obviously helps in building and encouraging young athletes. In tennis, हमारा ATP टूर में एक ही टूर्नामेंट है, वो है पुणे ओपन. तो आई थिंक वी नीड टू नॉट ओनली ATP इवेंट्स, ATP चैलेंजर्स, ITF फ्यूचर, सब I think we need to have almost 25-30 weeks of tournaments in India so that the players can just stay at home, travel in India and get, try and, build their rankings and everything.
India's favorite sports channel, DD Sports. Chalo khelo.
से 26 दिसंबर 4th नेशनल पैराबैडमिंटन चैंपियनशिप ऑर्गेनाइज किया जा रहा है. ये अब तक का सबसे मेगा इवेंट है, पैराबैडमिंटन का सबसे बड़ा मेगा इवेंट है. मोर देन 500 एथलीट इसमें ज्वाइन किए हैं और इसको कैसे हम सक्सेसफुल बनाएं उसके लिए हम जितना हो सके हम अपना बेस्ट दे रहे हैं. इवन मैं नहीं, हमारी टीम जो है पैराबैडमिंटन एसोसिएशन और पैरा एसोसिएशन ऑफ उड़ीसा, ये सब मिलके एक अच्छे से एक ऑर्गेनाइज कर रही है कि कैसे नेशनल सक्सेसफुल हो. अभी हमने नेशनल ऑर्गेनाइज किया तो इससे हमें एक सबको देखने का नज़रिया मिला कि पैरा स्पोर्ट्स कैसे खेला जाता है, कैसे होता है, तो सब कोई प्रमोद बहुत देखते थे, बाकी एथलीट नहीं थे, बट यहाँ पर सारे उड़ीसा एथलीट खेल रहे हैं, तो सबको देखेंगे, जानेंगे कि कैसा होता है पैरा बैडमिंटन, कैसे उड़ीसा के एथलीट प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं।
नमस्कार, स्वागत है आप सभी का भुवनेश्वर के ईस्ट कोस्ट रेलवे इंडोर स्टेडियम में। यहाँ खेला जा रहा है चौथे राष्ट्रीय पैरा बैडमिंटन चैंपियनशिप 2021 और भुवनेश्वर, जैसे कि आपको पता है, अब खेलों की राजधानी बन गई है, मंदिरों का शहर कहा जाता है इसे, लेकिन अब से कुछ साल पहले यहाँ पर स्पोर्ट्स रिवॉल्यूशन हुआ है और इसको अब बना दिया गया है स्पोर्ट्स कैपिटल ऑफ इंडिया। तो भुवनेश्वर का ये स्टेडियम, यहाँ पर माहौल काफ़ी बढ़िया है, जो कि पैरा बैडमिंटन चैंपियनशिप का आयोजन हो रहा है। यहाँ पर काफ़ी संख्या में पार्टिसिपेंट्स मौजूद हैं। 3 दिनों तक ये प्रतियोगिता खेला जाएगा और यहाँ पर 500 से ज़्यादा पार्टिसिपेंट्स, 500 से ज़्यादा खिलाड़ी हिस्सा ले रहे हैं। भारत के लिए ये साल काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण था। ओलंपिक्स में सक्सेस के बाद पैरालंपिक्स में भी पैरा एथलीट्स को सफलता मिली थी और उसके बाद यहाँ पर पैरा शटलर्स देश भर से उपस्थित हैं, खेलने के लिए तैयार हैं। तो मुकाबले की तरफ बढ़ते हैं। ये मुकाबला है मेन सिंगल्स SL4 क्वालिफिकेशन मैच, जो कि इंडोर स्टेडियम में, ईस्ट कोस्ट रेलवे इंडोर स्टेडियम में कोर्ट नंबर 3 पर खेला जा रहा है। मुर्शद पीपी केरला से, उनके सामने हैं आंध्र प्रदेश के नवीन कुमार और मेरे साथ कमेंट्री बॉक्स में मेरे सहयोगी संबित मिश्रा। संबित, स्वागत है आपका। कैसा लग रहा है पहला ये माहौल, और ये बताइए कि भुवनेश्वर में जो भारत के स्पोर्ट्स कैपिटल है, ये मुकाबला चौथे नेशनल पैरा बैडमिंटन चैंपियनशिप, ये माहौल कैसा लग रहा है आपको?
Thanks Chiranjeevi for having me here. I'm excited to be here. Bhubaneswar, which has been known as the sports capital of India, and organizing a tournament of the repute of 4th National Para Badminton Championship is a gift in itself to the people of Bhubaneswar. We have around 500 participants who will be vying for 6 championship of 6 categories, and we have already started. The opening matches are going on, and in the classification matches today we have SL4 singles, and Kerala is playing in front of Andhra Pradesh. Mursad PP and Naveen Kumar are going face to face, and the match is going to be exciting as we expect.
काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण मुकाबला यहाँ पर। दोनों खिलाड़ी आपके स्क्रीन के सामने, बाएं तरफ आंध्र प्रदेश से नवीन कुमार और हमारे कमेंट्री बॉक्स के दाहिने तरफ मुर्शद पीपी मौजूद है और काफ़ी तगड़ा और काफ़ी रोचक मुकाबला देखने को मिल रहा है SL4 कैटेगरी में। यहाँ पर आंध्र प्रदेश के खिलाड़ी नवीन ने एक अनफोर्स्ड एरर करते हुए, जिसके तहत सर्विस मिला है केरला के मुर्शद पीपी को।
The lad from Kerala, Murshad, giving it his all, putting out smashes after smashes, but Naveen Kumar making sure that he doesn't commit an error. And what a match going on here at the Bhubaneswar East Coast Railway Stadium. Score stands at 11-13. Contest on the cards, and it is a match to watch.
बेहतरीन, बहुत बढ़िया, शानदार तरीके से उपस्थित बुद्धि का प्रयोग वहां पर आंध्र प्रदेश के नवीन कुमार के द्वारा। एक अंक और उनके पक्ष में। शानदार तरीके से फिर से एक अंक और उनके लिए, और बराबरी करते हुए यहाँ पर बराबरी का अंक हासिल कर लिया है। वापसी काफी शानदार नवीन कुमार के द्वारा।
Naveen Kumar was trailing by 10-13 and has made a comeback to make it, and he has taken the lead here. The score stands at 14-13 now, and Naveen Kumar looks a bit stronger than the Kerala lad, but yeah, Kerala has made the comeback. The score stands at 14 all again.
जी हाँ, एक रोमांचक मुकाबला होता हुआ यहाँ पर इन दोनों खिलाड़ियों के बीच। देखा जाए तो वहाँ पर अंदर गिरी है शटल, ये शायद कहना है, जो कि वॉलंटियर यहाँ पर ऑफिशियल, जो कि टेबल को सहायता प्रदान करते हुए, और अंक केरला को मिल गया है यहाँ पर। पहला गेम केरला के मुर्शद पीपी के पक्ष में, और ये दूसरा गेम यहाँ पर शुरू हो चुका है। आंध्र प्रदेश के नवीन और सामने उनके मुर्शद केरला से, और यहाँ पर आंध्र प्रदेश को पॉइंट, नवीन को बेहतरीन स्मैश, और विपक्षी खिलाड़ी के पास कोई जवाब नहीं।
Yes, Chiranjeev, the first match was as exciting as we wanted it to be. The match ended 15-14 with Murshad of Kerala taking a point in his service in the last point, and he took out the first game. The score now stands at 2-1 and Kerala is leading here. And what a smash from Andhra. Naveen Kumar making sure that it doesn't leave any stone unturned to win this game.
28-26 से लीड करते हुए नवीन कुमार यहाँ पर ये मुकाबला काफी रोचक चल रहा है, काफी कॉम्पिटिटिव रहे हैं दोनों, और रिटर्न ऐसा जहां पर नवीन कुमार समझ नहीं पाए और अंक मिला है मुर्शाद को। वापसी की तैयारी काफी शानदार रही है संबित।
Yeah, Murshad's drop shots have been excellent, but again an enforced error. While he could just play simple to the Andhra lad, he has put the shuttle out. The score stands 29-27 in favor of Andhra, and he has won the game 30-27 in favor of Naveen Kumar from Andhra Pradesh. And what a performance from him. He has made sure that in spite of unforced errors, he wins the match.
WH2 मेन सिंगल्स कैटेगरी में क्वालिफिकेशन मुकाबला यहाँ पर चलता हुआ अब्दुल गफार कर्नाटका के और उनके सामने अरुण स्वयंभू तमिलनाडु के खिलाड़ी। ये व्हील चेयर पर दोनों पारा शटलर यहाँ पर आपके सामने। काफ़ी रोचक होता है संबित ये जब भी आप देखते हैं, और ख़ास तौर से इतने सारे एथलीट्स भुवनेश्वर में इकट्ठे हुए हैं इसको रेलवे स्टेडियम में, और ये मुकाबला अब्दुल गफार और अरुण स्वयंभू के बीच जो चल रहा है व्हील चेयर मुकाबला, आप पहले कभी देखे हैं या पहली बार देख रहे हैं?
Yeah, I've seen it before in the Paralympics itself, and we just saw an exciting match in the other court between SL4 men's singles, and what a match that was. And we have turned now on to the men's wheelchair singles and the match between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. I expect it to be as good as the previous match was.
जी हाँ, यहाँ पर साइमल्टेनियसली काफ़ी मुकाबले खेले जा रहे हैं, और ये क्वालिफिकेशंस के मुकाबले आज पहले दिन में काफ़ी संख्या में एथलीट्स पैरा शटलर्स यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं। कुछ समय पहले इनॉग्रेशन सेरेमनी हुआ था, और ओडिशा जो धीरे धीरे भारत का एक खेल हब जहाँ पर इतने सारे खेलों का आयोजन हो रहा है, और ये पैरा बैडमिंटन के लिए एक महाकुंभ है, क्योंकि ये राष्ट्रीय प्रतियोगिता है। देश भर से यहाँ पर पैरा शटलर्स मौजूद हैं।
500 participants coming together for a championship here in Bhubaneswar, and it's not the first time that Bhubaneswar has hosted this tournament. I mean, this kind of tournaments, and a tournament of this repute. Oh, that's a shot.
12-13 यहाँ पर यह मुकाबला 12 अंक पर तमिलनाडु सर्विस करते हुए, और पहुंचने में सफल नहीं रहे, और यहाँ पर सर्विस गवाया तमिलनाडु के अरुण स्वयंभू ने। 14-12 अभी स्कोर कर्नाटका के पक्ष में।
And it's outside. The score again goes in favor of Tamil Nadu, and he's leading by 3 points here in Bhubaneswar. And we can, as you can see, there is a side change, or we say court change between the two players. And the match has resumed again, and it's a point for Arun from Tamil Nadu, and the score is 13-15 now. We all know how difficult it is to be a wheelchair, to play in a wheelchair. After so many hurdles, we are competing at the national championship in Bhubaneswar.
ये मुकाबला काफ़ी शानदार रहा है अभी तक। इस अंदाज में दोनों शटलर्स खेल रहे हैं, अपने प्रतिद्वंदी को ज़्यादा मौका नहीं दे रहे। यहाँ पर देखिए अंक मिला है कर्नाटका के खिलाड़ी को लिए, और दर्शक तो यहाँ पर मौजूद नहीं है, लेकिन जो साथी खिलाड़ी हैं जो कर्नाटका के लिए खेलते हैं वो हौसला अफजाई करते हुए अब्दुल कर।
Just look how swiftly they are moving with the wheelchairs.
एक अंक और कर्नाटका के पक्ष में है। ये मुकाबला शानदार रहा है, बेहतरीन दावेदारी पेश करते हुए दोनों खिलाड़ी, कर्नाटका के अब्दुल गफार और अरुण तमिलनाडु की। यहाँ पर गलती, बाहर मार बैठे, अपने पक्ष में नहीं रख पाए, लेकिन बार बार अंक लेने के बाद यहाँ पर एक अंक गवाया है अब्दुल ने। रिटर्न करने का प्रयास उतना अच्छा नहीं, अब्दुल को वापस अंक मिल गया है। 25-26 से यहां पर अरुण लीड कर रहे हैं, लेकिन सर्विस अब्दुल के पक्ष में। और यहां पर बराबरी करते हुए शानदार तरीके से यह मुकाबला लंबा खींचेगा और यह मुकाबला काफी रोचक, काफी शानदार यहां उपस्थित सभी लोगों के लिए।
Absolutely nail-biting match on the cards. The score is again tied at 26 all. And Abdul is making... And another point for Abdul. Is leading now. It's 27-26 in favor of Karnataka. Abdul has got a huge crowd support. Not the crowd, his players, actually his teammates. Arun is making the comeback now. The score is again tied. This match is going to the wire, I say, Chiranjeevi.
अब्दुल के लिए इतना समर्थन देखकर पता चलता है कि कर्नाटका की दावेदारी कितनी मजबूत होगी। यहाँ पर और भी पैरा शटलर्स हैं जो कि कर्नाटका से आए हैं और यहाँ पर एक अंक और अब्दुल को, और फिर से तालियों की गूंज यहाँ ईस्ट कोस्ट रेलवे इंडोर स्टेडियम में।
And huge support for Abdul, and is leading now after leading by 15-12 before the change of the courts. He's just and he has won the game. What a match! What a match this was with both the players. 31-28 in favor of Abdul Ghaffar from Karnataka. Not to say a good fight from Arun. The score is 15-4 in favor of Karnataka now. Bala from Karnataka is leading by a whopping 12 point. And again, he's again leading by a 13-point margin. Oh, a mistake from Bala that allows Ramachandra to take a point. The score is 5-17 now. A drop shot. Oh, into the body by Karnataka. Bala is playing hard here against Ramachandra of Maharashtra. The score is 18-5. Long rallies going on. Oh, Ramachandra wants to take a point here. Oh, just easy. Ramachandra is making it look too easy for Karnataka.